Hey, what's going on, Who Dat Nation? It is yours truly, Timothy J. Jones, and welcome to another edition of the State of Saints podcast. This is the halftime report. The New Orleans Saints are playing some inspired football right now. They are beating the Tampa Bay Buccaneers by a score of 16 to 6. This is a little bit of a shocker. I'm pretty sure to a lot of Saints fans out there, probably didn't expect for the Saints to look as good as they have in that first half, but it really seemed like the Saints have brought their A game. I can tell you this right here. If Spencer Rattler could play like this the entire game, the Saints got themselves their franchise quarterback. I mean, Spencer Rattler, the first half, Spencer Rattler is definitely a franchise quarterback. I'm going to say that again. First half, Spencer Rattler is a franchise quarterback. Second half, I don't know. So I don't know, right? I mean, we got to see. All right, let's see if they can actually do some things in the second half and be able to keep this momentum going. Spencer Rattler is making some really good throws. Definitely his best game as a pro. Right now, he is 21 of 28, 181 yards and a touchdown. And honestly, if they probably would have challenged that play that Valdez Scanley had the first catch that he made in the right side of the end zone, it probably would have been 2 touchdowns for Spencer Rattler. Look, I don't know how to feel about this, man. You know, on one hand, I know that if the New Orleans Saints beat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and if the Falcons can somehow, pull off the victory over Carolina, then that means that the Falcons are going to be division champions, undeservingly so, to be honest with you. But I'm just hoping if the Saints can keep this momentum, Carolina can keep on trying to fight and come away with a victory and completely rip the heart out of the Atlanta Falcons. I mean, honestly, that probably would be an even better narrative, knowing that the New Orleans Saints did something that helped the Atlanta Falcons and they couldn't help themselves. But back to the game itself, I like the way that the Saints have been playing. Spencer Rattler has been doing a really good job at getting the ball out of his hands. He's making really quick decisions. He is playing with a lot of confidence, and these wide receivers seem like they are helping him out, especially the tight ends. I like that some of the play designs are more like short intermediate passes that's allowing some of these tight ends to eat. I mean, I even seen Dallin Holker out there, making plays. But at the end of the day, I just want to see if they can continue this. Like I've seen this before, to be honest with you. I've seen this movie before where, Spencer Rattler looks really good in the first half. And then in the second half, teams make adjustments and they can't make those adjustments. Right. But it should be an interesting second half to see if Spencer Rattler can actually build on this momentum. Like I said, this is definitely the best half of football that he's ever played as a pro. And man, if he can play like this all the time, the Saints got something. I mean, he definitely is flashing here today. And that's something that you want to see from Spencer Rattler. You just want to see if he's a better quarterback this week than he was last week. So it's pretty optimistic as a Saints fan to see that he is getting better every start that he gets. But I do want to say that this show is powered by BETUS. You can sign up today, get up to 150% on your first deposit, up to 125% on your second and third deposit, up to $2,000. So let's go ahead and read some of these comments. It says, I thought I would see guys mailing it in, but they are actually auditioning. Yeah. And honestly, this is pretty good for Darren Rizzi, to be honest with you. The fact that Darren Rizzi has these guys playing some inspired football. I mean, they are hitting out there. You kind of wonder where the heck has this been all season. I mean, DeMario Davis lowering the boom. You got Will Harris out there lowering the boom on Bucky Irvin. I think Bucky Irvin, he had that big 25-yard run, and the crowd started to get into it, chanting, Bucky, Bucky. Next play, I mean, Will Harris hit that boy with the hit stick, and he started yelling at the crowd, all right, now, Bucky, Bucky. But, and also, man, DeMario Davis, man, they are showing that if Bucky Irvin is going to get this football, man, when you get it, we're going to hurt you when you get this football. So, I mean, Baker Mayfield has done virtually nothing in this game. I mean, if you don't have Mike Evans, they ain't got nobody else. Like, he's looking for Mike Evans, and Mike Evans did convert a couple plays on that drive that set up that field goal, the last field goal, the last time Tampa possessed the ball. But you got to be impressed at the 2-minute drill from Spencer Rattler, man. I mean, at one time he was 7 of 7 for 49 yards before he tried to make 2 passes to the end zone. I'm seeing touch passes. And honestly, this is what I like to see. If you notice that when he is like checking the ball down, he's not throwing it in as, with so much zip on the football as he once did. He checked one pass down to Clyde Edwards-Helaire, and you can just tell, man, it wasn't too much oomph on the football, something that Spencer Rattler has done. And, for the exception of that screen pass that he threw just a tad bit too low, I mean, his check down passes have been on point. They've been catchable footballs. But I will say this, man, he has to be he has to be really, really careful at some of these hospital balls. Now, there was one pass that he threw to Marquez Valdes-Scantling in the middle of the field. You have 3 defenders that's zeroing down on Scantling. Luckily, he was able to catch the ball, secure himself, and you had 3 defenders basically collide into one another. That could have been extremely dangerous, and that could have been a pass that could have knocked Valdes-Scantling out of the game. You got to be able to protect your wide receivers. That's the only issue that I have. Some of the passes that he throws, I'm talking Rattler, can sometimes put your wide receivers in harm's way. And the fact that you are limited, you got to make sure that you protect these guys. You need as many playmakers on the field as you possibly can, knowing that you don't have many to begin with. I do want to acknowledge some of the donations here. It says, Tim, thank you very much for $5. Says, I hate this team so much. These guys play with their hairs on fire when nothing matters. NOLA for life. Yeah, I don't understand it either. Tim also says, Spencer looks like he can play without a run game. Well, it does look that way. And I think that this kind of shocked the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I mean, and I know it shocked me looking at the New Orleans Saints the way that they're playing in the first half. Maybe they thought that the Saints were going to come into this game uninspired and they were just going to just coast their way into the playoffs, and that's not the case. So they're going to have to come and play. But we all know that the New Orleans Saints, they are one of the worst second half teams in football this season. So, I mean, to say that this game is over, I mean, you haven't been watching Saints football. You haven't been watching it very, very recently. Is Alvin Kamara coming back next year in 2025 to play for the New Orleans Saints? Yes, he is. He already signed a 3-year extension, so he'll be back. Nerd, you're right. And it'll probably come back to bite us in the butt in the second half. 24-17 Falcons. Yeah. So the Falcons got a lead on the Carolina Panthers. And I'm pretty sure that they got I'm pretty sure when they were like kind of coasting a little bit, they probably have the score of the Saints Tampa Bay Buccaneers game on the screen. So probably now that they're seeing that the Saints have a lead on Tampa, that's giving them motivation to play harder, because, it seemed like, that was kind of a nip and tuck game until, the Saints kind of pulled away a little bit. And that just showed the Falcons that, man, maybe we got a chance. So, that's probably the reason why they're playing so inspired right now, because that gives them an opportunity to win a division. Says you never know what a new coach is going to do with his team. That's why I asked. Yeah, he'll be back. Man, Rattler is very precise. Yeah, he's making some really good throws. Man, Jauan Johnson really makes you either look or love or hate his play. No in between or consistency. Man, I'm still over Jauan Johnson. I don't care if the dude go for 150 or 10 catches today. I don't care, man. I don't want this dude on my football team. You know what I'm saying? I dude, like you said, too inconsistent. And honestly, man, just the mind frame that he rolls with, I don't feel like that's the mind frame of a true competitor, man. That's just somebody that's just happy to get a check. So me personally, I think you can get something better than that. Why can't we do this the whole season? Well, that's a good question. But I think it has a lot to do with Tampa underestimating the Saints and thinking that they were just going to come up in here and lay down for them. Only thing is Saints are known to not finish. Well, look, if they don't finish, I won't feel bad about it. I mean, I'm just being honest. You know, I saw what I needed to see in the first half. We seen what we needed to see out of Spencer Rattler. It seemed like, you know, he's getting better. It seemed like he's getting more comfortable. So, you know, if Tampa just so happened to come back in the second half, start lighting it up, I mean, what's the worst that could happen? The Falcons sit at home, you know, like, hey, it is what it is. I really don't want to win this game. Neither do I. especially when I know that the Falcons are beating Carolina. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't want to see these boys win this. Yeah, like I don't even want to the Atlanta Falcons to sit up here and be up in the chat trying to grandstand off that, knowing good and doggone well that the only reason they'll be in the postseason is because the Saints beat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. TJ, it shouldn't take something drastic to happen for us to play motivated. I'm sorry, but I don't care if we win. Yeah, I agree, man. But, you know, sometimes when tragic things happen, teams play inspired football. But let me go ahead and read some of these stats. And once again, we'll be back for the post-game show. We have the post-game show on Bleacher Report, as well as the State of Saints podcast post-game show that will be available afterwards. Spencer Rattler, 21 of 28, 181 yards and a touchdown. Clyde Edwards-Helaire, 5 carries for 17 yards. Jordan Mims, 2 carries for 12 yards. Spencer Rattler carried the ball for 1 time for 11. You have Jamal Williams, who converted a couple third downs. He had 6 carries for 10 yards. Jauan Johnson, 5 catches for 69 yards. Dante Pettis, 2 catches, 16 yards and a touchdown. You got Clyde Edwards-Helaire, 1 catch for 14. Foster Monroe, 2 catches for 14. Kevin Austin, 1 catch for 13. Valdez Scanlon, 2 catches for 13. Jordan Mims, 3 catches for 13. Cedric Wilson, 2 catches for 11. Dallin Holker, 2 catches for 11. And Jamal Williams, 1 catch for 7. So what you're saying is Spencer Rattler distributed the ball, you know, to several receivers, which is a plus. And I'm glad that these guys are getting opportunities to play. Will Harris, 4 tackles. Demario Davis, Millard Bradford, Tyrann Mathieu, Kool-Aid McKinstry with 2 tackles. Tano Passigno, Ugo Amadi, Nephi Sewell, Jordan Howden, Rico Payton, Alante Taylor, and Anthony Orji all have 1 tackle. So, I mean, the Saints have controlled the time of possession, a huge discrepancy there. The Saints have held the ball for 19 minutes to Tampa's 10 minutes and 45 seconds. If you look at the third down efficiency, the Saints are 3 of 8 on third down, 2 of 2 on fourth, 3 of 6, 3 of 6 for Tampa. So what I expect in the second half, you know, hopefully they can make some adjustments here. I expect for Tampa to try to throw the football, run the football with Bucky Irvin, as I'm seeing Carl Granderson making the tackle there. So hopefully we see the New Orleans Saints be able to build on this. If they can't, I mean, like I said, I ain't really upset about it, you know what I'm saying? Especially since I know that it looked like Atlanta probably going to end up beating Carolina. So enjoy the second half. We'll be back for the post-game show, and hopefully we see you there. Till next time, all I got to say is, who dat?